Thank you very much.
Hey, it's Kaufman is Alive. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at a new comic book, The Ultimates, number 14 by Marvel Comics. This is a $4.99 book. Came out in July of 2025. Got a cover here by In-Yuk Lee, with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch making their first appearances in this issue. We also see, for the first time, the Hellfire Club, the White Queen, Emma Frost, and the Black King, Roberto DaCosta's father. So a lot happens in this issue, and this is a pretty cool issue. We got Juan Frigeri doing the artwork on the interiors. Dennis Camp is doing the writing here. It's a cool little team up between Captain America and Hawkeye, which we saw on the cover. This is the Charlie Ramsey version of Hawkeye. He's of Lakota Indian descent. He was able to find Tony Stark's tech after Clint Barton turned down the team. So we've got a new Hawkeye here. We see this kind of makeshift version of the Hellfire Club with all the CEOs of all these corporations saying the biggest risk to their future earnings here are the Ultimates. Kind of the most interesting character, the only one you really need to know about, is Obulent Midas here. She's the daughter of Midas, who was the villain, I think, from one of the first issues of Ultimates, and Ultimates were able to take him out. They actually broke his spinal cord, and she took over the corporation, the Midas Incorporated at that point. But she kind of looks like Madeline Pryor with her S&M outfit, so I'm kind of interested to see what's going to be happening with this character in future issues, because we see the appearance of Emma Frost in this issue. So I've got to wonder what, if any, their connection is. And she uses her mental powers to show everyone at the table here what's happening here at this Roxxon facility, with Captain America and Hawkeye attacking it, because she wants to show off her children from her Frost School for Wayward Youth. So we learn that Emma Frost, not only high-ranking White Queen of the Hellfire Club, but she's also got her own school set up with these superpowered beings. So she sends Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch to attack Captain America and Hawkeye here. I like the way he draws Captain America's costume here. It's a very practical looking soldier outfit. I like the helmet. I've always liked when Cap has an actual helmet as opposed to a mask. Makes him look more like a soldier. But he draws everyone looking so young, which I guess they are, but they almost look like teenagers. All the characters in the Ultimates, unless you're somebody like Emma Frost here. Doesn't exactly look like a teenager. But also, I should point out, she seems like she's upgraded her dress to just a pantsuit here, as opposed to wearing a lingerie outfit everywhere she goes. But maybe she's got to build up to that. Get a great page here of Quicksilver just punching Captain America. He says, "You do not touch my sister," after Captain America is able to take out Scarlet Witch. And then he notices that Quicksilver's building up all this heat and friction the more that he runs, so he tells Captain America to shoot the oil line, which sends crude oil spilling everywhere, all over Quicksilver. We see Captain America blocking himself with his shield. So all the oil burns up Quicksilver. He looks about like 10 years old here. I really got to wonder how old he's supposed to be. But they're able to defeat Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. And then we see, this is Roberto DaCosta, who's Sunspot in another Marvel universe, and his father, who we find out is the Black King here. And he says, "How I'll miss the electric jolt I got from a pint of Pietro's blood." So these Illuminati, very much like any Illuminati that you've heard of before, they drink human blood, they control all the corporations. And then we see that the bourbon that was given to everyone around the table poisoned them. At least that's what I think happened here. Perhaps not. Maybe White Queen just exploded all their brains with her mutant power. But she kills everyone at the table here, except for Obulent Midas. And she says, "You show creativity and potential, Ms. Midas, despite what your father says. Now be a good girl and I'll teach you how to take over the world." And then we see Hawkeye asking Captain America, do the Ultimates take prisoners? So it looks like we may be getting 2 new members of the Ultimates, but I like how Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, just like in their original appearances back in X-Men, were working for the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants before they became heroes, and very similar thing happening here. So a similar origin for these two. So this was a fun issue. It was cool to see some X-Men characters show up, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, the White Queen. And I like that each one of these issues of the Ultimates in this series seems to just be a self-contained story in each issue. I mean, you do kind of need to know the overarching plot of everything going on, obviously, but you can pretty much pick up any single issue of the Ultimates and get an entertaining story front to back. It's not like a 5-part, crossover event where you got to read a whole bunch of other books. So I do appreciate the Ultimates for that. It's been a really consistent book. I picked up every single issue, so go check out all my other reviews of this series, the Ultimates. And I want to thank you again for watching. Please check out my channel and subscribe if you haven't yet, if you've made it this far. Please like the video. I have started a new channel as well where I talk about pro wrestling. Kaufman is Alive Wrestling. So go check that out and subscribe and go read comics.